Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Joncast podcast. Yes, it has been a while. I'm back from my fifth, sixth, maybe seventh 2-month hiatus. But yeah, it's nice to see you guys. Hope you guys are gonna enjoy this episode. Last episode I think I ever did, I was talking about when The Rock returned, and today we're going to continue that trend. We're going to be talking about Wrestlemania. We're going to be talking about Wrestlemania 40. I'm going to give you my predictions on what I think how the card is going to play out, and winners, maybe some future outlooks of WrestleMania, my opinions on certain things, and yeah, so I guess what better to do than to get started. But before we actually get started, how about like, subscribe, hey, comment, tell me what you think, give me your opinions, let's do this. So first match, let's start it like this. So there is the official card. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more matches announced. This is, while I'm recording this is a Sunday night. So we got one more week until WrestleMania. So there could be a few more matches announced. So I'm going to touch on the matches that I believe are going to happen, have some chance of happening first, that are not officially announced. And that's just 2 matches right now. One for sure that is going to happen is Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Naomi versus Damage Control. That seems like, based on our last Friday night SmackDown, that is the match that's going to be made. It has not been made official as of yet. WWE hasn't announced it. It's not on the websites or anything, but I'm pretty sure it will happen. But for my prediction on that one, Jade Cargill going over. That's an easy one. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi going over with the way that Jade Cargill was presented on Friday Night SmackDown. There was just so much star power there, and arguably, I think, of all the women ever, probably the biggest, like, just moment, just like a wow. And I have to argue, maybe even bigger than Ronda Rousey when she showed up. Like, Ronda Rousey showed up and like added credibility just because she came from MMA background, but the way they presented Jade Cargill was just like, yeah, she's a star. She's going to be a star. And yeah, that presentation with her entrance and everything was definitely interesting. I know we throw around this word a lot as of recently in the internet wrestling community of aura, but yes, she does have that aura about her. So yeah, like I said, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi going over. Another match that's not announced, I am honestly not even sure if this is going to happen. It may not happen. It may happen on this Friday SmackDown. And that is the Final Testament, which is Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain against Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. I feel like that match could happen at WrestleMania. It may not happen at WrestleMania. It'd be crazy for Bobby Lashley to get left off another WrestleMania 2 years in a row. But in the event it does happen, if it does happen, I personally want to see the Final Testament go over, just because I believe it's time to start pushing. I've believed this for a long while, and I've been vocal about it on X/Twitter, whatever we call it now, that I believe the way Karrion Kross has been treated, they just been fumbling the bag really bad. And I feel like he can be one of those gatekeepers. You know, you string a couple wins together. I don't believe he needs to be a world champion right away or something, but I think he's somebody, if nothing's going on, you can build him into a serious, credible contender for, you know, maybe if Cody comes out WrestleMania with the belt, he could be one of those guys. You can probably throw the U.S. title on him, add some credibility to him like that, you know, something like that. Authors of Pain definitely can end up winning tag team titles. You know, I remember them on the NXT run, and how I remember when they showed up was just manhandling everybody. So I just feel like, you know, even Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, they're in a position where, you know, they can take a loss and they'll be okay in that. We were turning them heel in the beginning, but it just seemed like the fan reaction was just like so overwhelmingly positive with everything that they did, that they couldn't turn them heel, and they ended up becoming baby faces. So for me personally, if this match does happen, I want to see the Final Testament go over and this feud be done and over with, and let both parties move on to other things. So that's that. And then, well, this match is official, so I guess we can go into the official card, but it's not listed on the website yet. But we have Dominic Mysterio teaming up with Santos Escobar against Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. For my pick on this match, I think I'm going to pick Dominic and Santos Escobar. And I'm only going to pick them, or I'm mostly picking them just because Rey got his win over Dominic last year. And I just feel like, by hook or by crook, that's how they're going to win this year. If Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee end up winning, it wouldn't surprise me. But I don't know. I just feel like, maybe giving Dom and Santos Escobar a win at WrestleMania, further helping them out along the line, establishing them, especially Santos Escobar, who I feel like he probably could do big things over the course of 2024. I think definitely we should give the nod to them on this one. And yeah, that's all I really got to say about that match. So now on to what is quote unquote official. First match we are coming up with LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Now, on my bingo card, before we got to WrestleMania, I had LA Knight going against Logan Paul for the United States title. That's what I believe LA Knight's path was. But if I have to be honest, I like this route way better. Him having a match with AJ Styles, because AJ Styles has a lot of credibility. And I believe LA Knight is going to beat AJ Styles. But LA Knight, with a win like that over AJ Styles, you can do this, and then I believe at the next pay-per-view or next really big event, I think it's probably SummerSlam. I might be wrong on that, but I think the really big one is SummerSlam. I'm not talking about like the smaller pay-per-views. Like I think Backlash would probably be next. I'm not looking at the schedule, so I could be wrong on that. But in terms of a big proper pay-per-view, I think LA Knight could probably win the U.S. title there. So I think that would be a good thing to happen. But this match right now, the way the feud has been built, we had like old school elements. LA Knight showing up to AJ Styles' house. We had that funny moment of LA Knight dressing up incognito and attacking AJ from behind. And this feud has been built for a few, maybe 2-3 months now. It started with Solo Sikoa taking out AJ Styles and AJ Styles returning and kind of having like quote unquote jealousy towards LA Knight. So in terms of builds and stuff like that, I think this has been a very solid, and putting him in the ring with AJ Styles is definitely very telling a lot. So in terms of this match, I got LA Knight going over AJ Styles, and I don't think AJ Styles anything bad happens to him, because I feel like AJ Styles is one of those people that he can lose this match and then tomorrow he could end up feuding with whoever for the world title kind of thing. Like that's the type of cachet he has. Next match, we got the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship 6-pack tag team ladder match. That was a lot. That involves DIY. We got the Judgment Day as the champions, the New Day. We got the Awesome Truth. We got the Catch Republic, I believe that's the name. And we got, I believe, A-Town Down is the tag team name. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. For me, I have gone on this, or I've got on the train of believing that this is the match that they're going to use to split up the tag team titles. Because I also am one of those people who feel like we're at a point in time where they can finally split up the titles. They can split up the titles and give us new belts in the process. I think it's time. I think we have enough tag teams on both sides of the equation that we can do this now. So for this match, I'll be picking 2 winners. And for me, those 2 winners, I got the Awesome Truth on one side, and in the other side, I got A-Town Down. I kind of feel like it's going to be R-Truth climbing up the ladder, reaching for the belt, maybe grabbing one set of belts. And at the same time, maybe Austin Theory or Grayson Waller ends up there, and they have the other set of belts. And that's how we end up finally splitting the tag team titles. And I've been one of those people who wanted to see the tag team title split up since last WrestleMania. After KO and Sami Zayn beat the Usos for it, it was nice, but I just kind of felt like because we didn't really have a direction, and it just feels like when one team holds the tag team titles, that it becomes a stopgap for everybody else on whoever is on the other brand, because I feel like we don't get a lot of reckon or shine for a title match often on the other brand. So as the Judgment Day being on Raw, it's not like they defended a whole lot on SmackDown. Like every once in a while they bring somebody out from SmackDown to have a shot, but I don't feel like it's consistent enough. And like I said, I feel like we're in a point where both brands have enough tag teams that we can finally split up the titles. So yeah, like I said, on one side, on the Raw, probably the Raw titles, I have the Awesome Truth grabbing those, and the SmackDown titles, I have Grayson Waller and Austin Theory grabbing those. So now we got Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. So I think easily I'm picking Jey Uso to win this one just because of the momentum he got this year. I could see Jimmy winning, but if Jimmy wins, I feel like there's going to be bloodline interference. I feel like we're going to have a lot of bloodline interference throughout the whole night. But I think I got Jey Uso winning. Jey Uso the bloodline has given us a lot, and me personally, I think I'm ready to see the end of the bloodline. I feel like, it's just time. We've had it long enough. They gave us a lot, but I feel like we should be in the point of now we're starting to see the decline of the bloodline. But for Jey Uso, it's just simple. Main event Jey Uso. I just feel like he should go over good guy stories or WrestleMania. We got to have some good guys winning. And I just feel like simply Jey Uso is going to do that. Rikishi is allegedly supposed to be in attendance. There's rumors about that floating around. So, hey, I would like to see him involved in the match somehow. Maybe a post-match angle. Maybe, hey, like reuniting the brothers or something like that. But we shall see. But yeah, like I said, I got Jey Uso going over here. Now we got the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Gunther against Sami Zayn. So for me, right now, I am also one of those people who wanted to see Chad Gable, but when Sami Zayn got that spot, I didn't mind it either. But either way, whoever was facing Gunther, I'm picking Gunther to retain. Because I just don't feel like either we can take it and build Sami Zayn or Chad Gable to build them to something else. But for me personally, this is how I want my story to play out. I want Gunther to retain, and I want him to hold the title till SummerSlam. I want to see Ilya Dragunov get called up from NXT to the main roster. If you guys have not seen previous clashes at the time he was Walter versus Ilya Dragunov in NXT UK, you need to go see some of those matches. I think they had maybe 2 or 3 title matches, and they was just bangers. Like, those were great matches. You need to go see them. So for me, I got Gunther retaining, and like I said, at SummerSlam probably, I want to see Ilya Dragunov be built credibly and him be the one to dethrone Gunther. This is also going to, because I know this is going to probably, or my mindset is this is going to come up later, so I want to address it now. When it comes to these long title reigns, for what they are right now, I appreciate them and I like them for what they are now, because I feel like all of these long title reigns help to establish people and give prestige back to the titles. But going down the future, I don't feel like every title should have long title reigns. Like, I'm okay with, maybe somebody's had this belt for a year maybe, but I don't think like everybody needs to do it, because everybody who's holding a title, I think except for Logan Paul probably, maybe I know Io Sky's probably on the cusp, but maybe Seth Rollins is on the cusp, but everybody's held their titles for about a year now, so it's like we're not seeing, like, I like it for now, but I don't feel like we need to continuously do that. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing, like, in this situation, Ilya Dragunov beating Gunther. Then maybe Ilya Dragunov has the belt for 3 months, and then it goes to somebody else. So, and that's going to be my theme of how I feel about the titles as we go forward, the singles titles. So, I might bring this up again, as we go forward and talk about it. But yeah, in this match, I got Gunther retaining. Next match, we got Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens, United States triple threat match. For this, I got Logan Paul retaining. Just because I don't feel like it really makes a lot of sense to take the title off of Logan Paul. And since it's a triple threat, it gives him out of a more, quote unquote, devious way to retain the titles, because he can just pin either one of them, do a last minute thing. And as far as Logan Paul as U.S. champion, it's been a good run. I don't really think, like right now, he's coming to his own as a heel. He's doing a good job. Regardless of how you feel about Logan Paul, I gotta respect him for what he's doing. I feel like I'm gonna say this every time something with Logan Paul comes up. But right now, in my mind, if I'm booking, most of the stuff is going to be from my mindset on not really how I think it's going to go, but just how I feel I would want things to go. Randy Orton, I feel like he doesn't need the U.S. title because he can also do something after WrestleMania. He can, regardless of how you feel about Randy Orton is a way better heel than he is a babyface. And I feel like coming out of WrestleMania, there is a possibility that we can turn Randy Orton heel and have him feud with Cody. Spoilers. And that would be a great, it would be a great feud altogether, regardless of how long it lasts. Kevin Owens as well. He's just one of those people, like, he doesn't really need a title to be successful. He's always going to be somewhere on the card. Kevin Owens is great. Like, I do believe, like, maybe a world title reign is something I would want to see for Kevin Owens again. Not just the Intercontinental or U.S. title, not one of those belts, but just like a world title. That's something I do want to see in the future for Kevin Owens again, because I don't really feel like he got a fair shake last time he was the world champion. But yeah, in this triple threat match, I'm taking Logan Paul. We got Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch for the Women's World Champion. Women's World Championship. Can't talk. Wow. For this, I'm picking Rhea Ripley. And I'm picking Rhea Ripley because I feel like right now at this WrestleMania, we should keep establishing her star. I think, Becky is great. And I feel like if Becky does end up winning, it wouldn't be a shock either. I feel like right now, we should hold off this title change maybe until SummerSlam, right? I feel like we can do this match now and then have a rematch at SummerSlam, and Becky Lynch goes over there. I feel like at WrestleMania this year, we should keep establishing Rhea Ripley as the big, the big cheese, the big honcho on campus, mommy, right? So I just feel like now's not the time. That's the vibe I feel with Rhea Ripley. Like, now's not the time. Let her hold it for a couple more months, and then we take the belt off her. And even if, Becky ended up winning at SummerSlam, like I said, because I'm not really in favor of long title reigns all the time, I feel like we can do another match and give Rhea the belt back. Just like that. If it was necessary. But yeah, in this one, this year, WrestleMania, I got Rhea Ripley. So next, we got Io Sky versus Bayley. So, I'm going with Bayley, right? Simple as that. I also feel, just like most people, that Bayley is just not getting the recognition she deserves. She is the women's Royal Rumble woman. I can't talk. The women's Royal Rumble winner, and I feel like she deserves a lot more respect on her name for that. Prior to The Rock joining the Bloodline angle, I would have told you that I believe that Bayley should main event night one. And that's how I feel. I feel like Bayley deserves, deserves the world at this point. Like, she's done stuff for so long. She went on, prior to the Royal Rumble, she was on a long losing streak, right? Like, when was the last time Bayley won a match by herself? So, like, right now, I just feel like, hey, like, I also want to see the hugger. I want to see the hugger again, right? I would love to see that at WrestleMania. I would love to see the return of the Bayley buddies. I doubt we see that, but for right now, Bayley should definitely go over Io Sky, and hey, I would be one of those people like, let's give Bayley a long title reign, right? Let's put some respect back on her name. So yeah, keep it simple on this one. Bayley going over Io, taking that belt. Now we got we got 3 matches left that's officially on the card, and all 3 of these matches is going to intertwine. So the first match I'm going to be talking about is Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. So, to start with the simple prediction, I believe Drew McIntyre is going to win. Now, how he gets that win, this is going to be the interesting part. I feel like we can go a plethora of ways with this. But the way I want to see this go is I want to see Seth Rollins be a heel again. And I'm going to say, no, I do not believe he's going to cost Cody. That's not what I'm going with. For my own booking, I believe, yes, there will be bloodline interference in this match. But there's also CM Punk who's going to be on commentary. So because of that, I feel like the bloodline is probably going to interfere, but they're not going to be the ones to ultimately cause the final decision. I feel like that's going to be CM Punk. I feel like we're going to get the usual wrestling trope of CM Punk is on commentary. Seth is either going to get thrown into him. Drew is going to get thrown into him. Somehow he's going to catch a stray foot to the face. Something is going to happen, which is going to incite CM Punk, and he's going to get involved in the match. But whether he does it on purpose or by accident, he's going to end up costing Seth Rollins the title. Now, because of this, like I said, I still do believe the bloodline will interfere, but I don't believe they're going to be like the death knell. So I just feel like maybe Seth Rollins gets into a headspace of, I should have been focusing on my title, because I believe this is also going to happen at night too. But I feel like he's going to get into his headspace of, I lost my title, and I should have been focused on Drew more than I've been paying attention to the bloodline. And I feel like when it comes to the end of it, like maybe he doesn't show up for Cody. Not that he attacks him or costs him anything, he just doesn't show up for Cody. I feel like that's a possibility, one of those things. And then, like I said, in the process of that, I feel like this is the slow descent to turning Seth heel. Now, why I say Seth turning heel, because I feel like Seth as a babyface, he's never been that great to me. I feel like Seth has always been a great heel. That if you remember before, the song, because I feel like most of his babyface act is the song. I feel like if we take away that song, he doesn't really have much else to stand on. So when it comes to just the whole run before he became a babyface and started going for the world title and stuff, I feel like he was doing great work. But we're at a point where I just feel like it's become stale, the babyface, and I feel like we can go back to Seth being heel, just being the bad guy. And I also say that because I feel like in my mind, I'm thinking about the future. So I'm thinking of something like maybe Backlash, SummerSlam. I don't know the injury status of CM Punk, but after this, we can get CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, right? Because that seems like a match that's being built to. But because CM Punk cost Seth Rollins is going to end up saying, I'm going to get my mind back, and he's going to cost CM Punk. I feel like in that feud, because I think we still want to do CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, I feel like it's better for Seth Rollins to be the heel, because I feel like we are too fresh into the return of CM Punk that most likely that we would want to see him as the babyface here, because the fans is probably want to get behind him, probably going to want to be behind him with anything that he says. So I feel like with Seth, it'll probably be better for him to turn heel, and I feel like we'll get a lot more out of that feud if he is the heel. So I feel like we're going to end up if we do get Drew versus CM Punk, Drew is going to end up retaining because of Seth Rollins, and then CM Punk versus Seth Rollins will happen. That's how I would want it to play out. So yeah, in this match, I got Drew McIntyre retaining with interference from Bloodline and CM Punk. Okay, now we got the tag team match. The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, which is probably going to end night 1. So, for me, right, I got The Rock and Roman winning. And that's only because I feel like we're not going to throw out Bloodline Rules match and not have it. Like, I feel like, at the end of night 2, Cody versus Roman is going to be just a ridiculous Avengers level event, right? But for this match, I have The Rock pinning Cody. And I know that the train of thought everybody has is Cody Rhodes is not going to get pinned. Like, that's what Seth Rollins is here for. For me, I used to think that too. I used to be on that train of, there's no way we're going to see Cody lose anything before he gets to Roman, just because that's how we want to build it. But I believe Cody's last match that he had, he lost to Drew McIntyre at that. So with everything that's happened, I just feel like Cody can take that out. And I feel like it probably would build more drama because it's going to be Cody lost. Cody was the one to take the pin. And then, when we get to night 2, it's just gonna be like how, after last night, how is it gonna beat Roman Reigns kind of thing. So with this also, I'm a proud Cody crybaby, right? I ain't afraid of that. I was one of these people who was vocal about The Rock. How I want to see Rock versus Roman Reigns. I just didn't want to see it this year. I just didn't think it made any sense this year, especially since it seemed like they started building that after Cody won the Royal Rumble. It just didn't make any sense. So it was just like, with the year that Cody's been having, it just makes sense. Let's do it. Pull the trigger. Cody becomes champion. Spoiler for my next match. Let's do it. So, with The Rock, I gotta say that overall, this has been the best Rock we have ever seen. I think this is better than any acting he has ever done. I don't think he's the greatest of actors. I feel like in terms of, if he did this character the way he's doing it now, brought it to movies and translated that into a movie villain of some kind, I feel like The Rock would cook and put his career back on the map. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of The Rock in movies because I just feel like he does the same thing. It's nice action movies. I'm going to go see them. But in terms of who he's playing, I just feel like he's been playing Luke Hobbs in some different form for so many movies now. And that's just how it is. But in terms of just we've got Hollywood Rock back. We got a Rock concert. If you haven't seen Hollywood Rock when it was initially in the WWE, years ago, you need to go back and refresh your memory. Go see that for the things that he was doing. And even what he's doing now with, just, I feel like he's pushing the lines of PG himself, because he can do that. He's doing the board of directors, right? I don't like it. Overall, I don't like it because it's only him. People, pretty much anybody involved within this thing is allowed to do it. If we're not going to allow everybody to do it, then I'm just not really a fan of it. So I just feel like if it's only going to be them, like, I get it, but we don't have to do it all the time. But I do appreciate them pushing those boundaries some of the time. We had him last Monday beating the dog shit out of Cody Rhodes, just beating that man. If you follow The Rock on social media, he uploaded a clip of him still beating him after the show went off the air. So yeah, I just been enjoying this. I think tomorrow Monday is Monday Night Raw. All I gotta say is, what I want to see for Cody is an American Nightmare. That's what I want to see. I want to see a real American Nightmare tomorrow. I want to see him show up. I hope The Rock and Roman is booked for Monday Night Raw, but I want to see Cody go on a rampage, whether that be this tomorrow, Monday, or Friday. That's what got to happen. One thing I don't like about this entire thing is it feels like Roman and Cody have become an afterthought. It feels like we've been building for Rock versus Cody. I feel like in terms of right now, maybe this changes in the next 2 shows. These are the go-home shows for Raw and SmackDown before WrestleMania. But as of right now, I'm just like, I don't really have a lot of investment in like just a feud of Cody versus Roman as much as I do Rock versus Cody. I feel like that's a match we are gonna get down the line, but right now I don't feel like we've been doing like proper building to the actual main event of WrestleMania, So there's that. So yeah, let's go to the final match, that which is Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. So for this match, right? I think I said earlier, I got Cody winning straight up. I got Cody winning this time. Roman has done amazing things for us, but I think it's time for Cody. Let's crown Cody the champion. Cody is the next John Cena, right? Cody, that's what Cody is. Cody is the baby face that WWE has always wanted. That's what the star power that he has. He does all these things, events that happen over the course of the year. You see him everywhere. So it's like he said, I'm here. I hold myself as the champion because you're never here. Something like that. Something along those lines. So for right now, I got Cody going over. We're probably going to get Bloodline, the whole Bloodline. We're probably going to get Seth, Jay, I don't know how far back down the well we go, but maybe we get a Kevin Owens appearance. Maybe we get a Sami Zayn appearance. Maybe we get a Randy Orton appearance. I mean, with the subtle things that happen on Raw, it seems like there's a possibility we get Stone Cold or John Cena involved in this somehow as well. But when it comes to this, and also for future building, I am of belief that most likely that Cody wins, but when he wins, it's going to be because The Rock cost Roman Reigns. And what I mean by that, I think the initial concept that we had was Rock is probably a double agent. Nah, I don't think that. Like, if that was the plan, I don't think that's the plan anymore. What I do believe is going to happen is somehow, some way, we are probably going to get to, it's just going to end up being Cody, Rock, and Roman in the ring. And Rock is probably going to be trying to help Roman win the title. I don't know what I'm about to say. But what ends up happening is somehow The Rock inadvertently cost Roman the title. Maybe he has a chair. He's going for a chair shot on Cody, misses, hit Roman, and that's the moment that Cody uses to, win the title. So I feel like somehow, some way, like something like that is going to happen. It's not going to be The Rock costing Roman on purpose. And then after that, I feel like Roman is going to disappear for a while. It could be months, however long. Like maybe he doesn't resurface until SummerSlam or something like that. I feel like there's a possibility, depending on The Rock's schedule, because it's all dependent on that too. You could throw it out the window, throw everything I'm saying right now out the window if The Rock doesn't appear after this for who knows how long. But I feel like we're going to get Rock versus Cody, maybe at like SummerSlam, something like that. And in that match, that's when we get Roman Reigns returning, and he ends up costing The Rock the title. And that's going to be like, the dissension of the bloodline and who's the real champion truth and all that. Because I do feel like next year we are going to do Roman versus Rock next year's WrestleMania. I feel like that's an absolute certainty at this point. If we end up doing it like earlier, like maybe SummerSlam, I wouldn't be surprised by that either. But I feel like it's an absolute certainty that we are getting Rock versus Roman somewhere down the line. So yeah, I think that covers everything. Like I said, we end the show with Cody holding the belt high and finally getting his moment, giving his mom the belt, something like that, bring a tear to my eye. And yeah, but tell me what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section. What do you think about my predictions? Do you think they're absolute trash? Think they're absolute dog shit? What's your prediction? How do you think things is gonna play out at WrestleMania? Like I said, I did this mostly to how I wanted things to go, not how I actually think things will go. But yeah, that's the fun in it, right? But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of the Joncast podcast, and peace.